Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty,
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and another episode of The Witcher, episode 5. Last time on The Witcher, we wouldn't necessarily call it another timeline, but we got a bit of catch up with Queen Calanthe and uh, a bit of a flashback to her glory days where she was more concerned with, she wasn't quite the calm, quiet grandmother that we were first introduced to in the very first episode. This was Queen Calanthe at her peak, right? We met Ciri's mom, Pavetta, and learned about how the how Geralt and Ciri came to be destined and sort of tied to each other through the law of surprise, which girls um, unintentionally caused. But at the same time, it's an interesting tie-in to introducing his character and Ciri's. I don't believe this is how they came to be exactly in terms of how they were introduced to each other in the books or the games, but it was well done here, so I'm all for it. um I mentioned last episode that the pure performance, while there wasn't an awful lot that happened in terms of action, um it definitely moved the story along, and in terms of the performance in that episode was top notch. It was some of the best for the entire season so far. My favorite episode still remains Betrayal Moon episode 3, but the performance in this episode was phenomenal. As I said, Iced and Queen Calante, they stand out. Every episode that I do see them in, there are such standouts that, and everyone, that's not to take anything away from the other cast members, right? The acting right across the board was phenomenal, but those two, they're just always um I always gravitate towards them when they're on the screen. Um, so Geralt stepped in, helped Dooney. His curse ended up being broken at the very end, and then Geralt unintentionally, as a joke to some extent, claimed the law of surprise as his reward for saving him. Um, we caught up with Yennefer, who we now know has been, I don't know, she's been a mage for 30 years now. She said 3 decades, I believe, and she hasn't aged. I do know that mages don't particularly age as far as humans go because they use magic to keep themselves young. But I didn't think it was to that extent, right? Because she looks the exact same. But she did take an injury. I was a bit confused at the very end, where she saved the baby, jumped through the portal, but the dagger still hit her, and it appeared as though the dagger passed through her and killed the baby. But and unless she has phenomenal healing factors, but healing abilities, which I didn't think was that potent, right? But clearly it is, or maybe it didn't hit her directly. And so that's a possibility as well. Ciri, of course, found herself in a forest full of dryads who have given her a choice, and she's now talking to a talking tree. So I'm interested to see where that storyline goes. But this was just another adventure with girls and the bard Yaskir, of course, and a fantastic one it was. Again, as I mentioned before, this reminded me so much of the games where you're forced to remove your armor and swords and don um, ordinary clothes and go to court, which I always hated. I hated it just as much as girls did in this episode. And as much as you try to stay out of their affairs, of course, you get pulled in. But I can't wait to see more adventures with Yaskir and Geralt. Some of my favorite episodes, of course, is with these two together, because it's usually a good mixture of action and humor. Not that humor isn't throughout, but um, it kind of helps to balance the tone, right? Last episode was particularly somber to some extent. We had Yennefer at the end having a talk with the baby's corpse, of course, about life and how he unknowingly cheated the game. But again, it was a good contrast with Geralt's scenario where Dooney himself found love despite his his affliction with the curse. to kind of show that there's a good balance of good and, let me not say good balance. There's good and bad in the world, and you kind of just have to try to find that balance. And who knows? Geralt may very well be Yennefer's, and vice versa as well. So they may actually be the balance the other has actually been looking for. So will this be the episode that they actually meet? Let's see.
Love surprises. Love visitors. A surprise visitor all the more.
I've had eyes on you for a
Nilfgaard
while.
army.
We are very flattered.
We.
But who is this secret peeper? It is not money we thirst for, per se.
There is plenty that you do thirst for. Assassination on behalf of the Kingdom of Nilfgaard. Or perhaps another eye or ear to round out your artful composition.
We'd planned on wearing this one for a while.
He did say that armies are not the way into the forest. I forget the name of the forest, but he did say that the army wasn't the way to get in there. So I guess this guy is. Oh, what's that? Still alive. I like the character.
Run.
Oh, so this is the end of Musak. He took something from Queen Calante, Queen Calante last episode, but I guess it's not going to mean much. Okay, so it doesn't need to kill him to do it.
Everything you've ever done, ever debated, ever dreamed is in our head now.
Oh, so he does get all the
This morning.
information.
When you...
Goodbye, Musak.
Don't know what you're doing. My rates have gone up since last we spoke. I found more demand for my services.
Yeah, you killed me. Good point.
I see a lot of myself in you. Follow my footsteps. You could gain some repute. Find a whole new career to fund what you so desperately want.
Well, she's on the run from the Brotherhood and cut off because she no longer has a source to draw magic from.
I'd given up what.
She must really hate this gig, though.
We better go now.
If you are casting spells, I need to collect what's due to the kingdom.
Tax collector.
I'm afraid those terms seem rather shite to me. I did suspect.
Yeah, she can see his thoughts.
Nilfgaard är en giver. Haben en hulte.
2 heads.
Stellen en rang.
They've come for her.
Langwith. Helikim.
It's time to keep moving. Although I suspect she's gonna choose to stay, and then the Doppler is gonna force her out.
I heard you were in town. Are you following me, you scamp? I mean, I'm flattered and everything, but you should really think about getting a hobby one of these days. We're not using friend. Yeah, sure, let's just give it another...
I love that his outfits are
Carol,
getting
you're fantastic
more
at very many
flamboyant
things,
in
but
the way that
clearly
Jaskier
fishing
usually
is. Not one
is.
of them. Have you caught anything today? What are you fishing for exactly? Is it cod? Carp? Pike?
Something tells me
Bream?
it's
I'm
nothing
just
you're
listing
gonna want
fish
to
that I know.
eat.
Zander? Is that a fish?
A gin.
A what?
I'm looking for a gin.
For a gin? Like a genie?
No.
The floaty fellas with the bad tempers and
Different
the bad magics,
thing.
that kind of genie.
Yes, it'll grant me wishes. It's in this lake somewhere, and I can't fucking sleep! It's like ordering a pie and finding it has no filling.
How dare you?
You need a nap. I mean, are you trying to hurt my feelings, Geralt? It's downright indecorous of you, if I'm completely honest. Take it back, and then you can have your ginny gin gin.
Let go.
No, let go, you horses! Ah! It's a bit of an anticlimax.
Or not.
Is it? Jin, I have freed thee, and as of this day, I am thy lord. Firstly, may Baldo Marx, the troubadour of Sidaris,
Making
struck
wishes
down
with
apoplexy
gins never work out
and
well.
die. Secondly, the Countess de Stael must welcome me back with glee, open...
A gin!
Let's see what this thing looks like.
Yes,
What's wrong with him? The hell? I mean, what the hell did he wish for?
Oh dear.
What?
I assure you I have received the best medical education right here in Ringed, but these injuries are of a magical nature.
I need a
can help with the
mage.
pain.
Yennefer?
A bit like
Putting salve on a tumor?
his throat was attacked. If the spell's action isn't halted as soon as possible. The medicine should buy him a few hours, but he needs a magical remedy.
I don't remember exactly, but when they met, when Yennefer and Geralt met, it was actually
You like pain.
Dandelion, that Jaskier, that brought Geralt to her for treatments, right?
I inflict pain. My
Yeah,
dear,
Tessaya. I
you
didn't
there's
think
a
we'd
difference.
see her.
It's been too long. I haven't seen you for years. Why are you
Peace.
here?
So I'm guessing she's not in the same timeline as Ciri,
You remained
because
hidden
it's
for a
not
while.
Peace.
But now you're making noise.
Oh, she's barren
Simply beyond
based
your
on what happened to the spell, so she wants a cure. But she knew the consequences. He told her before he did it. Oh,
Which is the rub?
your pride,
You only
Yennefer.
want me to do well so long as you had your hand in it. How did we get this way? I gave you all I could give. What more do you want? Everything.
And there lies the problem.
You may go, Rectress.
Also, I thought she was taken prisoner. Doesn't look like any cell I've ever seen.
A fee to see the mayor. This is urgent.
I don't make the rules, but money opens all doors.
So it does.
It does indeed. Yeah, where is she? Yeah, it's another spell. Look on Yasker's face. Horrible time to not be well, Yasker. I was wondering whether Mia didn't have more guards or help around, and I guess that's where they are.
Stay. She's intrigued.
The famous White Wolf.
Hey, Dandelion has been doing his job. Maybe she's heard of him.
I thought you'd have fangs or horns or something.
I had them filed down.
You know, Jaskier is in the corner just dying. Been waiting for this introduction.
How long will he sleep for?
Long enough for you to bathe.
She did say it to take more than juice.
Fishing for a djinn seems an extreme measure to remedy sleeplessness.
How many bathtub scenes has it been now? 2 in 2 episodes?
Yes. I'm desperate.
And yet you didn't ask me to help you with that.
Looming death. Judging by your wrists and your wits, Put
noticed.
was very happy. But Aretusa fixed you up nicely. What was your ailment before? Clubbed foot?
Clever Witcher.
Split ends?
Tell me. Fortunately for you, I've determined your company and conversation payment enough.
That's surprising. I'm
What's
out
the
of here.
matter? Water not suit.
It's the sign from the seal. I'll be taking Jaskier now.
If you wake him before he's healed, the spell won't take.
This is Yennefer. Giving something, but only if she gets something out of it.
Sorry I couldn't be direct. I knew you'd fight it.
Why do you want to get inside his head?
And I do love a good old-fashioned...
Wake up!
An elf?
At long last, you think we are? I hope your rampage was well worth it.
What rampage?
Rampage. What did I do?
So she's hoping the Jinn can reverse what was taken from her?
Oh, where am I? Did we, you know, do the, oh, no, definitely did not butter that biscuit. I'm so sorry, but I just remembered I left my cat on the...
How's your throat? Perhaps you should try some scales.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of penis, oh god.
If you want to keep all you have, make a damn wish.
Yeah, he's still the master, so she needs him to make the wish.
Between a witcher. What is repulsive? Deviant. And cannot smell. A witcher without a nose. Last words, Witcher.
Why don't you take the chains off and make it a bit fair, huh?
I want you to burst, you son of a whore.
Why was his wish granted?
You're the one with the wishes.
Ah. That's 2. So it's not Jaskier. And Yennefer thinks it is.
You're making me
I think you have us confused with something
Oh,
else.
no. Do not tell me that this is finally the moment you've decided to actually care about someone other than yourself. Leave the
He's
very
cared about you
sexy
this whole
but
time,
insane
though.
witch to her inevitable demise.
She saved your life, Jaskier. I can't let her die.
She didn't do it out of the kindness of her heart, though.
You're the Jinn's master.
Yeah.
Well, what are you waiting for? Ah! Make your wishes!
Becoming the vessel for the Jinn will have you lose control, not gain it.
Release the Jinn! I'll give you my last wish!
You heroic protector! Noble dog! Permitting my success so long as you command it yourself! Fuck off! I'll do this myself!
Never get about! Don't...
Gonna wish for the Jinn to release her? saved her, but she's gonna hate him for that.
Jennifer. Jennifer.
I nearly had it.
You had shit all. I saved your life.
Well, I saved yours. You let the djinn escape. Who knows what havoc it'll wreak now that it has no vessel at all?
No more havoc than you. And jinns are only dark creatures when they're held captive.
How can you be so sure?
Okay, I did not expect that. I mean, Yaska's here worried. This guy is here in tears, like, where's Jennifer? And you're like, off somewhere boning.
So that everyone remembers who you were.
Oh, they're still there. Actually, I thought it went somewhere else.
And I will sing it.
Oh, they're alive. They're really alive. I mean, you come on. Whoa, hang on.
What did you wish for? Tell me.
I wish to save her life.
Mousak,
Your Highness.
what are you doing, Sidi?
Dara, this is Mousak. He's not.
Where is that?
has chosen to stay with us.
It was her grandmother's dying wish that she should go to Geralt of Rivia. I know where to find him.
She's been promised to him through the Low of Surprise.
You can't argue with that one. You know what? I prefer if Dara stayed because I just get the feeling this Jin is just gonna kill him afterwards. Alright, so episode 5 of The Witcher. We finally, I mean, of course, the sure standout of this episode is we finally got to see Geralt and Yennefer actually meet. Actually thought that their timelines in terms of Geralt and Dandelion were further apart. Thought they were further apart, right? But now that they're here, Dandelion said that it's been a few years. I think based on what he said at the very start of the episode when he ran into Geralt, it's been a few years since they've actually met. I guess he stayed at court for a while, and then the court at Sintra for a while, and then came to meet up with Geralt afterwards. But nonetheless, quite happy to see both of them having actually met. I will say though, as much as I love the episode, I do just two things that just didn't really feel organic to me, right? And the first being the djinn that they met, right? Or the djinn that they found. For a creature that's that powerful, I just don't see how it can be that easy to find one. Just pick a river. And I mean, unless Geralt has been looking for the djinn for some time now and he's been checking other rivers and just fishing until he found one. But I mean, why? I mean, if this is the first time he couldn't sleep, if he was lying there and he couldn't sleep and he just got up and said, okay, I'm going to fish for a djinn in this river right beside me, and hey, look at that, I found a djinn. For a creature that powerful that he can make any wish, it seems unusual that it would be that easy to come by. and it's sealed for a reason. And in most instances, the jinn, whenever it gives you a wish, the wish is twisted in some way, right? And we didn't exactly see that here. It was more a deception in that we thought Yaskir was the one who actually cast the wish, but it was Geralt. But we didn't see that. We didn't see that demonstrated too well here. Again, the jinn being so powerful, it was just too easy for him to just come by like that. It would have been easier if he went on some other mission and came upon it. That would have been more believable for me. But nonetheless, we didn't get a good look at the jinn, but from what we did see, I'm quite satisfied with how they portrayed it. The other thing being, as much as I do buy into their attraction, Yennefer and girls, I love that bit. But the part where they ended up having sex at the end, it felt like it came out of nowhere to me. He didn't tell her what his wish was, but I assume the wish was for the jinn to actually leave the vessel, leave her. So it left, and in doing that, saved her life. She could have told him what she wanted, which from her discussion with Tesea, it was to have children, and he could have wished for that. But being Yennefer, of course, she did not. Yeah, she doesn't trust anyone but herself, and that's Yennefer's character. As much as you want to love her and root for her, she's a very selfish individual. Very selfish individual. I mean, Geralt said his reason for going back into the house to save her was because she saved Yaskir, but she only saved Yaskir because she realized that the inflection that he had was caused by a jinn, and she realized she could use that last wish to her own benefit. So she wasn't doing it out of the kindness of her heart, right? But it was a really funny episode. It was a really funny episode. Yennefer herself, she got an offer to go to join the Brotherhood, right? It seems as though for the moment she's on the run from them. She can no longer return to Aretuza, but Tesea has offered her a chance to come back, and she refused. Refused. But at the same time, I don't understand why. I don't know. I mean, she did end up going where she wanted to go. That was the whole point of doing the transformation, right? But then she left after she got what she wanted. It didn't make sense, which didn't exactly make sense to me. So I don't know. Is that she just got tired of the Brotherhood and playing politics at court, and she just decided to up and leave? And now she's just a wandering magician for the most part, which is why I suspect she was the one to curse the Striga that we met in the in episode 3. Not directly, but I think she gave the guy the curse to actually use to curse the child, because this is what she has been doing. She's just going around and selling spells, and not concerning herself with the repercussions of doing it. And we see the result of that in throughout Geralt's adventure with how dangerous magic can be if left unchecked. But at the same time, the Brotherhood themselves have their own agenda in trying to control all these kingdoms. So I mean, it was fantastic having them finally meet up. As I said, I would have just changed the end a bit. It just didn't feel as though that's what would happen. I mean, yes, he saved her, and it's clear they do have a connection. There is some chemistry there, but it just felt like it came out. Felt like it was too soon, maybe, right? It felt like it was a bit too soon. But this gives us a pretty good idea as to who the kind of person that Yennefer is. She will do something that could be perceived as good, but only so much as it benefits her. Right? That's pretty much Yennefer in a nutshell. And yeah, she could change later on. As I said before at the very beginning, Geralt may possibly be her balance, help her find that balance. And she in turn helped him find his balance as well. Right? I don't think he's really cared about anyone since Renfrey. So this should be a first. and he sees some of himself in her. That moment when they were in the bathtub, and basically in some ways comparing scars, because they were both brought up in some damaged childhood, and they can relate a lot. And the girls very quickly notice, the scars on her hands, and he knows the process that these mages go through. So they change their appearance as they go on to become full mages. So he immediately asks her, what was your deformity, right? I do wonder. She did say, and no, I'm as confused as to say in terms of what she hopes to gain, or why she's so intent on having a baby now. Because when she went to get the transformation done, the guy made it clear to her that in order to be reborn, you can no longer give birth, right? And she was fine with it. She knew the risk. She knew what she had to give up to gain what she got. Right? So and I don't know, I guess she changed her mind, or is it something tells me she wouldn't want to go back to being the way she was before. So I guess she wants, as she said, she wants everything. She wants to be beautiful, be powerful, but without any of the sacrifices. And there lies the crux of her, of her whole argument. Right? She wants everything without giving anything in return. And unfortunately, Yennefer, that is just not life. Equivalent exchange, right? And I keep bringing that up because it's so beautifully done in the anime, and you see portrayed so well here in the world of The Witcher as well, in Fullmetal Alchemist and The Witcher as well. So it's equivalent exchange. But beautiful, wonderful episode. Jaskier, funny as hell. I'm glad to see that he's more prominent in these episodes. We skipped an episode which was more a flash forward, which is why he wasn't in it. I do wonder whether or not we're going to be seeing an adult Jaskier, because at some point they will need to catch up with Ciri, and Ciri is way in the future. But Geralt and Yennefer won't age, so Jaskier will have to age. So if we do catch up with Ciri and Jaskier is present there, they will have to cast someone older to be Jaskier. So that would be an interesting dynamic to see if we're going back and forth. If they continue to do the time jumping thing. It'd be good to see an older version of this current Jaskier that we have. I absolutely love this one, but it's just an interesting thing to actually see them attempt on screen. So series off, pretty much off with Musak 2.0, a doppelganger that they found somewhere. Yeah, I worry for Dara, as I said. I think he should have stayed in the forest, because they are going to just kill him as soon as he leaves. They do know how dangerous Ciri is, so they may not reveal Musak's true identity immediately. But I am curious to why the Nilfgaardian soldier said to capture her rather than not kill her. I thought their intent was to actually kill her. Because they're the most powerful army in the land. What more power could they actually want? And I don't think it's possible for them to even control her. But they do have a powerful mage in Fringilla who is becoming more unlikable as time goes on. Of course, nepotism was why she was where she was in the first place, but the argument can be made that if Yennefer had gone to Nilfgaard instead of her, then things would have gone differently. I don't believe that for a moment, though, because Yennefer, being as hungry for power as she is, I think she would have done the very same thing, if not more. So I don't completely agree with the argument. But another fantastic episode, guys. Definitely looking forward to the next. Be sure to post down a little bit more what your thoughts are on this episode. Hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys for the next one.